Hello, Jan. Can you hear me? You're muted.
Yes, it works.
Perfect.
Let's wait for, guess, 1 more minute, and then we can start.
Let's do that, yeah. Should we start? Okay. Okay, great. Well, then, welcome everyone. Welcome all of you, whether you are connecting via Zoom or you're watching this via YouTube. This is going to be an Ask Me Anything session for the FlowerTune LLM Leaderboard challenge. This is an initiative that we have launched from Flower Labs, where the idea is, can we, given a pre-trained LLM, can we fine-tune it in a federated fashion to a downstream task? And we have different set of downstream tasks, each organized in different challenges that we call. There is a finance challenge, there is a medical challenge, a general NLP challenge, and a coding challenge. Each of them take a given LLM and fine-tune it to a dataset that is relevant to these challenges. Probably you have seen that we have our website announcing all of this. Let me just share with you very briefly how you can find it. Oh, maybe I cannot share my screen. Maybe Jan, you can share it in the meantime.
Let me try. Yeah, I think also I just send the request.
Okay, no problem. Well, in the meantime, we can continue. And the mastermind behind this FlowerTune LLM is here with us today. He's Jan Gaud, and he's going to be answering any questions you might have. It can be, all questions are welcome. It could be as simple as, how do I start with this initiative? Or if you have doubts about how it works, or maybe you have already started fine-tuning your model given instructions in the challenge, and you have some questions about how to improve the model, or maybe how to make a submission to the leaderboard. So all questions are very much welcome, and we'll try to answer them to the best of our abilities. So you can ask them. The best way to ask these questions are in either the Slack channel. In the Flower workspace, there is a channel called FlowerTune LLM Leaderboard. You can ask your question right there. I'm monitoring the channel, so I will read your question and ask it to Jan. But if you are on YouTube, you can also use the YouTube chat and ask your question over there. So while we wait for some questions, let me ask you some high-level questions first, Jan, about what this initiative is about. And yeah, let's start with that question. Can you tell us a bit more about the initiative and what are the differences between each of the 4 challenges?
Yeah, sure. Yes. first, thanks to everyone coming to this AMA session. Yeah, it's just as Javier introduced, FlowerTune LLM Leaderboard is the Flower initiative that's try to rank the LLMs that's fine-tuned on the distributed data using Flower. And as we mentioned, we have like 4 challenges so far. So basically, it's general NLP, finance, medical, and code. So for the general NLP one, we are trying to having the task like more a natural language style task, and we have very common used evaluation data set to measure the model performance as a downstream task after the federated fine-tuning. And for the finance one, similar is as the finance topic, is there's some sensitive data saved stored in finance in a finance institution, for example, and we can't like access directly to that data, or the people working on that don't want to upload their data to the central server for training. So in this case, the federated learning will be a potential way to get access to the rich pool of the sensitive data and train a more specialized finance related model. And yeah, so this one is the finance topic, and we prepared the complete baseline and pipeline for the fine-tuning process, and also for the downstream evaluation. We also have some finance related evaluation data sets that you can access. So here, as a screen showing this the current status of the leaderboard, we have like different metrics, evaluation metrics, that here is 3 from the different data sets. And you can, once you finish your training, you can test it with the provided metrics. And similar story for the medical one. For example, in the hospital or some medical institutions, the data also from the patients that can't be shared with maybe the outsides of that entry of that hospital. So in this case, same story, federated learning, the LLM training could provide a way to collaboratively train the model and just leave your data from their origin and don't share with others. And same we have here, we have also 3 evaluation data sets. It's related to like the medical related question answering, and it's the multi-choice questions basically. And after same thing, after you fine-tuning your LLMs, you can test with the provide metrics as shown here. The final one is about code. So programming also some personal or sensitive behavior did, and also if we train that federated way, it will be will protect the data that you have, the code that you have. And here we provide like a different programming languages to be evaluated. So it includes the first, you see the leaderboard here is MBPP is the Python language, and HumanEval is also Python language. Apart from that, we also have 2 other languages. First is the JavaScript. It's the multiple E, multiple GS, and the last one is the C++. So just
Yeah.
feel free to try your own method and like doing I don't know change your hyperparameters and trying with other FL algorithms.
Mhm. Yeah, thanks for the overview of all the leaderboards. I have some questions. For example, I see here, well, in addition to the accuracy and other metrics you obtain when doing the evaluation after fine-tuning your model, you have another column like says cost. Does this mean communication cost? Can you talk a bit about what does it mean and maybe why it is important in federated learning?
Okay, sure. Yeah. So this yes is communicate cost. So basically, it's calculated by the communication between the client side and the server side and over all the FL rounds. So here we have a limit for this cost. So basically, it's 200 gigabytes. The reason we want to do that is we try to have a more realistic FL settings and encourage people to do FL and LLM training, LLM fine tuning in a more real world setting. So that's the motivation.
Okay, makes sense. So you're saying that the upper limit for any method submitted to the leaderboards, it has a maximum 200 gigabytes of communication across as many rounds as the person wants.
Yeah, exactly. But so the communication cost actually is related to how many clients we select per rounds. So here we don't have the limit for that number, but just to make sure the communication cost at the end is just beyond that 200 gigabyte. That should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. Okay. Another question that might be interesting. So I see each leaderboard has its own, evaluation data sets, but I think all of them, they have this average column. Is this the metric you use in order to rank the different submissions? Or
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we have like multiple, you say, at least three entries, data sets here. So we got three numbers and we average them. It got the average number, and we use that to rank the different submissions.
Okay, yeah, I think this makes sense. I think it's a common way of creating leaderboards. I'm seeing that in all the leaderboards, like the baseline is a 7 billion parameter model. Can you give some details about what this model is? Is it a popular model out there or is something custom? Yeah, can you give us some details?
Yeah, sure. So for the baseline, we use the Mistral 7 billion model as the base model to fine tuning. On top of that, we add a LoRa adapter, and we just fine tuning the LoRa adapter. So that means the communication cost is not that high because we never transit the base models. Only the LoRa layers will be upload or download. Yeah, so the baseline is for the 7B, but yeah, we are very welcome to try with different model size, of course. And I think later, when we rank the different submissions, we will also consider the model size. So currently, yeah, if you submit, for example, a different model size for any challenge here, is still a valid submission.
Okay, makes sense. What do you think? For example, I was reading the rules and frequent asked questions from the leaderboard, which, by the way, can be found here. Here you can read all the instructions about how to participate. It's fairly straightforward and very guided, easy to follow process, and there are some rules on frequent answer questions. And I know that one of them sets the maximum limit of an LLM that can be used to make a submission. And if I'm not wrong, it is set to 12 billion parameters or 13 billion parameters, sorry. What are your thoughts about if you had to make a submission, for example, would you be more inclined into trying a 13 billion parameter model, or are you more excited about the new small 1 billion and 3 billion LLMs? Do you have any thoughts or any plans?
Yeah, we have. You are correct. We have a limit of the parameter number of parameters, which is 13 billions. 13 billion. Yeah. We actually we encourage people to try with like the smaller models below that number, because we are in the FL setting, and usually for example, the device or initial or the institution involved in the FL, the federation may not have like the powerful GPUs. So just to make sure it's like a more real world scenario. So we trying to limit that base model size.
Okay, so you mean like while all these setups are based on a simulation, it is preferable to come up with a good solution that could be eventually used in the real world that might involve different hospitals or different organizations, and not all of them will have access to really powerful compute. Is this
exactly. Yes.
Okay, nice. I think this makes total sense. Do you think it will be interesting a submission to the leaderboard where each node, each client, for example, trains a different size LLM? Do you think it will be complicated? Do you think it will be more realistic? Yeah, can you have some thoughts about this, and what would be the challenge to make this work?
So you mean for different clients have different size of model?
Yeah.
Well, in this case, I think the first question you need to answer is how can we aggregate them? So the basic, for example, the Fed average or the similar aggregation algorithm just alone the same model architecture. So if we I don't know, have the different size of LLMs on the different clients, it could be hard for the aggregation. But maybe I don't know if the models with different size have some relation with each other. For example, we can one could be the small model could be the part of the large model. So in that case, we could just aggregate that that partial parameters related to all shared parameters, all shared architecture. So that could be possible.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check if there are some questions. Well, while people think for the questions, I will ask you, Jan, if you can guide us a bit on what are these 4 steps on how to participate. I know you briefly mentioned them in the blog post where you announced the LLM Leaderboard, which I'm gonna just show where it is in case some people want to find it. So it's on the main website in Flower, blog, and then this is a blog post where the announcement took place a few weeks ago. But maybe if we do the exercise of creating a submission, how would it look like? What would be the first step?
Yeah, it's quite easy to participate. So just we show that there's 4 steps. So at the first step, you need to choose your challenge. So we just show that the challenge board before. Currently we have 4 challenges: the NLP, finance, medical, and code. After you choose that, and you can join our Flower Slack and say hi in the FlowerTune LLM Leaderboard channel. Just to let us know you are trying to start your project, and also you can ask any questions there to be helped from there. And after that, you can just follow the instruction in the individual challenge page to start your project. So basically, for example, maybe we can just choose a challenge and go to the NLP individual.
Yeah. So, okay, step one is to choose a leaderboard. So I will go here, NLP, and then
just click the participate. You will be guided to our GitHub repo. Here is some instruction to guide you create your own project. So basically, first you need to install your Flower, and after that, you just note that we have currently we have a template version of Flower to be installed, but it will be solved after the Flower 1.13.0 is out. So after install your Flower, and then you can just run Flower new command and select the framework to FlowerTune. And after that, you will be give another prompt to choose which task you will go for, which challenge you will go for, and then you will just create a new folder having the following structure. Mm-hmm. So this will serve as your start point to build up your own model or methods. So so that's the first step. If we can just go back to the website and to see how to participate. Yes, exactly. So after you finish the first step, then the second step, as I just mentioned, you propose your own method and build up on top of the provided template code. After that, you can use the Flower run to run your experiments. And when you, for example, you finished your method and got the checkpoint saved, you can go to the next step to evaluate your model. So here basically we have different specific evaluation metrics as we mentioned for the different challenges. So just go to the challenge that you choose to see the detailed instruction about how to run that. After that, for example, here's the NLP one. So it's quite easy and self-contained repo. You can just follow the instruction to install the code and also the dependency as well. And after that, you can just run the evaluation code as provided here.
So here I would so what I'm doing is I clone this, effectively cloning this directory. Then I install the dependencies needed for evaluation, and then I only need to run this Python file, but pointing to the checkpoint that was generated when I was running the code I modified, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds easy.
Yeah.
And so, what happens at the end?
Yeah, go ahead.
What will happen at the end? Like once I've done this, what should I be doing?
Yeah, after we've done that, we will see, check the results. For example, for this one is the accuracy. We will have the accuracy saved in the following folder, and you can just check how good your fine-tuned model is. And if it's a good results, so you can move to the next step. If we go back to the website, yeah, of course, you can also check the baseline. So sorry for the third step, the baseline performance to compare with our current baseline to say yeah, how good your model is. If it can surpass the baselines, then you can move to the next step, the last step to submit your project.
One question before going to step 4. What if, for example, I'm doing the general NLP challenge and I've already fine-tuned it. I already got evaluated the results, and then I see that, for example, my average accuracy is lower, but my communication costs, maybe they are 10% of the baseline. Do you think is it a worthy submission, or should I only focus on this? And if it's not better than this, I shouldn't bother to submit. What would be your advice? To always submit or not?
That's a good question. So we for all submissions, we consider all the metrics apart from the average accuracy value. If you got a very low communication cost, it's also a good submission because in a more restricted FL environments, it could be very feasible methods. So yeah, we also welcome these kind of submissions.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so the last step, just submit that the project. So here we provide like 2 ways to submit. One is a Google form, and the other is a Tencent survey. So it's basically alternative way of Google, but so both of them have the same content. So maybe we can click the Google form one to showcase what it look like. Yeah, so at the final step, you can just fill out all required information like the email, team name that will be shown on the leaderboard, also the affiliation, and of course the challenge that you choose. After that is the test performance. So that's related to the evaluation metrics that we have. So just make sure you filled out all the evaluation accuracy values. And after that, we also required you upload your training code, the fine-tuning code to a public GitHub repo, and we just provide the link here for the code. And also we required to save the checkpoints, the path the checkpoints that you use for the test, and upload that to the cloud drive, and provide a link here. After that, some basic information about your model used, for example, the number of parameters for the base model, and also the communication workload. You can easily compute that using the provided the communication tracker, which, if I remember correctly, is in the strategy.py file. Yeah, and the last thing is about hardware that you use, the GPU you use for the training. And after that, that's all. So just submit that, and we will, once you submit that, you will get a confirmation email, and we will evaluate your code and your results. And after that, you will see your project on the leaderboard.
Nice. I mean, sounds quite straightforward. I mean, the majority of this information is very easy to provide. I think that probably the most important part is to put a link to for example, a personal GitHub repo that you can verify that the changes to the template code do do generate the results reported here. That's a summary, right? Okay, cool.
Cool.
Do you think should we check the Tencent survey or is it similar?
Yeah, it's the same code, but just in both languages, Chinese and English.
Okay.
So
Let me try
yeah.
open it. I don't know if I will be able to open it, but let's see. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
yes,
same content.
cool. Okay, nice. So after creating a submission and submitting the form, participants will get an email, and then once you have the time to verify everything is fine, the leaderboard will be updated with the entry. Cool.
Great. Let's see, we have other questions.
Yeah, so I see a question. Question is there a specific deadline for submissions to the FlowerLM leaderboard? I guess the question is about, is there a date after which submissions are no longer accepted?
Yeah, currently we don't have a strict deadline for that, but I guess yeah, as soon as possible if you can submit that. Uh, I think we could probably next beginning of next year could like have a I don't know, have a events showing the ranking status and yeah show that so for example the top end submissions,
Cool.
something like that. Yeah.
What if, for example, there is one person or one team that are super excited about this and they want to make many submissions? Is there a reasonable limit on how many submissions can be processed on our end, or there is no limit? What would be your, what is there anything in the FAQ about this?
Yeah, we actually we don't have a limit for the number of submissions. We just and also if you want to choose multiple challenges, of course you can do that. And even for the single challenge, you can submit different entries with like the different methods. We just have a limit for like with 2 submissions per week for a single person or team, just to make sure that the quality of the evaluation process and also make sure the method is valid. So that's it.
Let's say I'm a person that I'm very interested in this, but I don't know much about LLMs. I know what they can be used for, but I've never trained them. Would you recommend them, for example, checking this online course and that Flower prepared not long ago? Can you tell us maybe what to is it a good starting point to familiarize yourself with these topics? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good start point if you don't have like experience of running LLMs or some need some knowledge about federated learning. So it's this course is a good resource for you to start with.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, by the way, in terms of the contributions for this initiative, apart from the submissions to the existing challenges, if you come up with, for example, the new challenges or new FL settings that you say is more like exciting or more realistic, and also welcome to contact us. maybe we can also add the new challenges to the leaderboard. So this kind of contribution also very welcome.
Okay, so you're saying, for example, imagine I'm from a research lab and we are very experienced with medical text data. You're saying that we could, for example, reach out to you and say, hey, we know about this particular data set that could be interesting to partition it in this particular way to simulate a kind of like a realistic FL setup. This is the kind of would this be a good reason for to create a new leaderboard or maybe a second leaderboard within the medical LLM leaderboard?
Yeah, exactly. So for example, just as you said, if have some more realistic FL settings for like the medical, like hospital scenarios, it could be the second leaderboard and this page, and with fine-tuning the LMs on your provided FL setting. It could be with a more realistic setting, of course. Yeah, something like that, this kind of contribution. And also maybe other domains that we haven't considered so far. I don't know, maybe some domains are involves sensitive data, like for example, law will be a possible scenario. Yeah, that's kind of contribution. Yes.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. Law could be very interesting. Can you tell us a bit about when you design these leaderboards, all these challenges, in addition to the datasets we see here for evaluation, there is another dataset, which is a dataset that is fixed and is used for fine-tuning. Can you tell us a bit about how that dataset is being processed, or maybe how it is partitioned? Is the number of partitions fixed for each challenge?
Right. Yeah, so for each leaderboard, we have a fixed data set for the LLM fine-tuning. So just for on the purpose of fair competition, we fix that data set, and also same for the FL setting, we have the fixed number of clients to be participated in that setting. So yeah, these two things will be fixed for fair comparison. But other things, we can just change whatever you want to fit your own experiments.
Makes sense. So now that you have created the baselines for all the leaderboards, if you had to make, let's say, 2 submissions to each leaderboard, what would be the things you would be more interested in testing first, or what better? The question is better like this: what would be the 2 things that have the highest chances to work very well that you would be interested in testing? Like, for example, I would like to test a much bigger model, or I would like to test a different aggregation strategy, or maybe I want to test involving many more clients per round. Can you give us some hints? Maybe people that are still doubting what's worth testing.
Okay, sure. For me, I'm interested in testing everything in the FL settings. But here's maybe some what things that you can try first. So first thing is just changing, for example, the hyperparameters related to the local training. For example, the optimizer of the LM fine-tuning and the LoRa configs, and also the learning rate schedule, for example. So this kind of things will be also influence the final performance of the trained model. The second thing will be just as we mentioned, you can try different like base model. So this will also generate different, the final accuracy, right? So currently we're using the Mistral 7B. You could try with some other popular model. I don't know, like some Llama model or Gamma or other, yeah, and any popular model. So we don't have limits for the type of the base models. So just feel free to try. The third thing will be on the server side, so for the aggregation algorithm, we're currently just using the pure feather average. So we could try like different aggregation methods. The federated LLM fine tuning is still an active research topic, and there's no, the final solution for this topic. So probably some existing algorithm methods would works better in this case. And of course, you can design your own algorithm methods just suitable for this LLM training. So that could also make sense, I think.
Okay, makes sense. But let's say that I only want to try one thing and I wanted the probability of it to work very well or as good or even better than baseline, I want it to be very high. So what would you recommend me to do? I mean, of course I can change the learning rate in the client, but maybe a much significant change would be to directly replace the model. Like, would you recommend me to replace the model right away or tweak the client hyperparameters? What would be the safest option, for example, from your experience working with LLMs in FL?
Well, yeah, the safety option will be change the base model. And just as we mentioned, we also consider with the model size and also the communication cost. So if you try with a smaller model and got a reasonable performance, it's a valid submission.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if I have any other questions from different platform. Yeah, I don't see further questions. Yeah, if you have like other questions or some questions coming to your mind, just feel free to leave a message on our FlowerTune LLM Leaderboard channel in our Slack. We're very happy to answer that.
Out of all the leaderboards, which one do you think is which one is the most exciting to you? Or the one that has maybe the biggest potential?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yes, out of all, there are 4 leaderboards, right?
Yeah.
Which one do you think is the one that has the most potential to make an impact once FL is deployed in the real world, for example? Like, do you think it's the medical domain, or do you think this is more interesting for the finance people? Which one will be the biggest disruptor?
Well, I think it's hard to say which one is the biggest impact. For different domains, it has like uh the different data, but the same story is has some sensitive or privacy issue. Um, yeah, if you're considering, for example, the applications, I think maybe it's medical and finance will be something interesting if we already have some real world applications and running FL uh, on for example, the different hospitals, um, and we first protect the patients' data privacy, and also we could collaboratively train a more robust model together between like different hospitals. That could be promising, I think.
Okay, so I think we have been close to 50 minutes in to the Ask Me Anything. Maybe we can wrap it up, maybe making a super brief summary of how to participate in the leaderboard. If you want to participate in the leaderboard, the best place to start, where you can find all the information, is in flower.ai. You will see that there is this nice animation that you can click, and it will take you to the specific page where the FlowerTune LLM Leaderboard initiative it's presented and explained. You can see obviously the how to participate. This is a very well-guided step-by-step process. It points in different places to, for example, to GitHub, where it will show you how to start with your submission. It is as simple as creating a empty new Python virtual environment. You can choose any tools, different places to, and then you just need to install Flower. And after doing so, you can create a FlowerTune LLM project by using the Flower new command and the corresponding template. But once you run this command, you will be prompted to choose a particular challenge. And the code that will be generated right afterwards is the exact same code that was used to generate the baselines in each of the leaderboards. So if you run it, you should be able to achieve the same performance as in all these leaderboards. Like, for example, if you choose the LLM NLP, general NLP challenge, you should be able to get these numbers. The interesting part would be to modify the code that will be generated from the template. And as Jan was highlighting, one of the things you could do is to change the hyperparameters. The best place to do so is directly on the config file that configures the entire Flower project. There you can also change your model, change settings like how many rounds, how many clients per round are going to be involved, and so on. If you want to make some more in-depth changes, you can, of course, change the Python files themselves. Once you have to run the code, it is as simple as doing Flower run. This is highlighted here as the second step. Flower run. This will automatically, it will run the code for the number of rounds that you have specified in your config, and will also save checkpoints periodically. So you can very easily take a checkpoint and then run the evaluation code, given a checkpoint. And you will run the evaluation that corresponds to the challenge you chose when creating the project. For example, if you chose general NLP, these are the instructions you need to follow. And the key part is that here, for example, you just need to point to the directory that contains the checkpoint. And you will just need to leave it running for a few minutes, and afterwards you will get some results that you can use to make a submission via either a Google form or a Tencent survey submission. And am I missing something, Jan? I think once the submission is done, you will be receiving a notification, and then the process of incorporating that submission to the leaderboard will begin, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. So I think it looks fairly straightforward to me, especially given that you can generate a template project that works in a pretty seamless way, just with Flower New and choosing template. So it's mostly a matter of making small changes or big changes to the template. It's entirely up to you. Anything else we should highlight before wrapping up? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. We are very looking forward to seeing your submissions, and just again let us know if you have further questions or concerns about this initiative, and just feel free to contact us if you have a new idea about the challenge or new FL settings. Just let us know. Yeah, thanks everyone for attending. I guess that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you, everyone. And as Jan said, you can reach to Jan and to me and others in the Flower team and other people that are participating in the leaderboard. The best place to reach to all of us is on the Slack channel. You can find the Slack workspace linked on the Flower website at the very top, and then go to the FlowerTune LLM Leaderboard channel.